session, we'll just step back for a few moments of silence. And after that, Monica will introduce herself and the workshop as she always does, and we'll start setting underway. Okay, so let's just step back for a few moments of silence. Thank you.
So very warm welcome, everyone. I hope the voice is clear enough for everyone. Loud enough? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. So, first of all, thank you for being here because it means somewhere we are ready in us, in our being, even if it may be parts of us which feel ready somewhere that giving up is a good option. Somewhere we may have a little bit of sensation that, yeah, I don't want to, but giving up seems the right thing to do. So that is how it starts for each one of us. And one thing which I can guarantee all of us is that if we give ourselves, or at least begin to, or even think about it, start to think about it, the process, it's going to be a really, really joyful journey. It's going to let us bring in the joy in our life which we lack when we run after our desires. So this thing actually I can really, really guarantee, which a mother actually talks about in her prayers and meditations, that what felicity, what joy of giving yourself up to the divine. And this felicity is concrete. It's not in theory, it's not just in words. You can feel it just like you can feel your pain, right? So it's a truly joyful process once we change our taste. So first, I want to just share with you how this topic came to me. I heard somewhere, or maybe read somewhere, that Pavitrada, one of the disciples and devotees of Mother and Sri Aurobindo, when he was leaving his body, Mother shares that he continued to give himself up to me, like his being is merging into me constantly. Like you see, like incense, agarbatti sticks, incense, how it kind of, it is going up, giving itself up. It's changing its form. So like that, Mother shares that Pavitrada continued to give himself up until his whole being came into the mother. And that really intrigued me. That really kind of, I said, how is it possible? Oh my God, what dedication he would have, that so much of consciousness he would have. And this tells us much about his practice while he was alive. Because during death, you can't control yourself. You are what you truly are. You may be showing or pretending to others that you are something, but in death, you are who you truly are. If you are full of desires, you are full of desires. You can't hide it. But it really shows us what kind of a practice he must have been in his inward life, that at the time of dissolving of the body, the whole being is going out just to the mother. Nowhere else, it's not getting distracted in desires. So that really kind of moved me somewhere within, that this is a possibility. And it also moved me in the sense that this I have to start now. So if right now I am distracted with worldly desires, running after this person, that person, pleasure in this or that, then at the time of dissolving of the body, which can happen anytime, I can't expect that I go only to the mother. I'll be just tukde tukde, I'll be in parts, half here, half there, like mother shares that how our vital being, which is full of desires, is just kind of again craving, 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 even after dissolution of the body. The craving doesn't get dissolved after the dissolution of the body. So I'm sure each one of us who is here today, and each one of us who would listen maybe to the recording later, we don't want ourselves to be craving, craving even after we are dead, do we? You know, we want to be unified, although we may not know the way right now, but we want to be unified. We don't want ourselves in pieces and craving still when we are uh, gone in the body, right? Because death, as mother says, death does not exist. The journey is going to carry on further. So whatever I want myself to be in future, which is after dissolution of the body, if this is just one way of looking at it, I have to begin to practice today itself. If I want a future like now, that's where I'm coming from. If I want that on dissolution of the body, I should go straight into the mother, nowhere else. Yes, that sounds right to me. Then the practice has to start today. And the practice takes a lot of conviction to start. And conviction in the sense that you will see that your mind cannot be concentrated on the mother if the worldly desires are still haunting you. We sit in meditation and then we are distracted by this person, that situation, this situation. This is what I want. I wish it could happen, right? So that's why Sri Aurobindo says that purity goes along with concentration. The more pure we become in our thoughts and feelings, the more unified we become, our concentration becomes very effective. To that point, mother says, to that point, it can become effective that you find your psychic being within 3 hours of concentration. Can you imagine? 3 hours, not a lifetime. So it's possible. And if mother has said, I have no doubt that it is not possible. It's just that we are just too distracted. And our concentration, no matter after every workshop, it may take a kind of a rise, right? All these kind of things, it gives us a push, but then it fades away, right? That intensity is not there, which sometimes arrives in our life because of this or that. So what we have to do, what we have to kind of give a vow to ourselves, that this is what I want and I am not going to waver now. I have done enough of wavering. And as mother says, suffering is not necessary. So you have to decide, we have to decide, I am going to do this without suffering. Enough of it right now. Mother says, no part of our being should want to suffer. When it comes, of course, you make the best use of it. It can come anytime. That's no problem. Like death can come anytime, but you should not crave for death. That's what mother says. Same for suffering. Suffering may come. Okay, mother, I'll go through it with the best possible attitude, the highest possible I can manage. But don't crave that pain and suffering may remain in your life so that you can progress. So each part of our being, you have to check, we have to keep checking the thoughts, the feelings, the body. Each part of our being has to lose the taste for suffering and then going ahead. We have to change our nature to that point that I want to be healthy and I want to be really in good shape so that I can serve the mother, so that I can serve the divine. This is what the change of taste has to take place. Hmm? So when I again picking up the threads, when I read about Pavitrada, I became really kind of startled, I would say, by it, that it is possible. And then slowly, a kind of a movement started in the body. And that movement continued. Still, I'm carrying on with it. That movement was giving myself up to the divine in the body. And then when the movement carried on for some time, I wanted to kind of get pointers, whether there are any pointers on this from Mother Sri Aurobindo. And then when I started to look at the pointers, there are enough pointers about this practice of giving yourself up. You can relate this to, before we come to the practice, actual practice in the body, you can relate this to, like if you have seen anything which is effervescence, like beer or wine, white wine or something, champagne, you would see that the bubbles keep rising up. They are effervescence. Or camphor, for example, it goes up, and there is no that much of heat or burning there. Like camphor can give itself up with no fire, right? Of course it can give itself up with fire also. That would be a little too fast, but that's what we call the sublimation. In science we call it the sublimation process. So what's happening in sublimation is like phenyl balls, or these kind of things which go up continuously because of whatever little heat is present around them. So in the body, when we will do this process, something like that we have to actually through our will create. Like it's the moment I become conscious of a negative thought which I don't want to carry, you give it up. Like it's effervescent and it's going up. You have nothing to do with it. It may have shown in your being, but you have nothing to do with it. Again, like a desire, you become conscious of a desire. You become conscious of a craving. Your consciousness is noticing it, right? And the moment you become conscious of it, you practice your will, the energy of your will, your tapas, the Agni. We'll talk about all these in detail when we go to the theory part where Sri Aurobindo talks about this. So she says that consciousness is coupled with a kind of will, force, power, chit tapas. The moment I become conscious of little bit of movement which I don't want in my being, I know it's an impure movement. You all know what is an impure movement. I don't have to talk about it, right? The moment I become conscious of it, you give it up, like as if it's burning itself up and it's going up, up, up above your head and raising, like just like how camphor gives itself up, how an incense stick is changing its nature and giving itself up, becoming ash and giving itself up. So that's the movement we are going to follow basically, which will be supplemented with a lot of words by Mother and Sri Aurobindo, which are already very much in detail. What is the role of Agni, for example? This is the Agni. Now, again, these are all the things that we aspire for. I have been, when I read about Agni, when I hardly could understand it, I wondered, what is Sri Aurobindo talking of Agni, Agni, will? I don't understand it. And even now, of course, I don't understand it in depth. But through that practical experience of knowing that the moment I become conscious of a movement, the will comes forward, and Agni is the divine will, and it burns itself up, it gives itself up to the divine, telling yourself that I have nothing to do with all these movements that are happening in my being, for which earlier I would run about and try to satisfy them. Is it making sense so far? Yeah. So at any point you feel that I'm going somewhere where we can't follow, please tell, please share. And if any question is there also, then you can interrupt in between and ask your question. So to become convinced, before we start the giving up, and also Sri Aurobindo shares that this giving up is obligatory actually. It's like there you have no choice to give yourself up. It's very interesting. And he shares that why you don't have any choice, because the divine gave himself up in the matter. Now the matter's responsibility is to give itself back to the divine. So you don't have any choice. The only thing is that if we do it consciously, we do it with joy. And if we don't allow it to happen consciously, even unconsciously, the process is happening all the time. But then we don't have the joy and the felicity of giving. Like this sacrifice is full of joy, which we call sacrifice or giving up. So that's the fundamental, that we are bound to give up ourselves. And the reason that we suffer is that we are trying to hold ourselves away from the divine, like this, I will not give, no, I will not give, like that. Like a little child, he clutches onto his toy, and if you come to ask him for it, he'll just like do this, no, he doesn't want to give you that toy. It's very dear to his heart. So that's what we are doing, all of us. We are holding back to our stories, and no, 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 my being and separate personality, I am not going to give. And the divine is ruthless. He's a ruthless lover. He's saying, you can do whatever you want to do, make any cages you want, and I'll break open all those cages. So that's the ruthless love of the divine for us, because the divine knows very well that we also cannot find full joy with these, clutching of fists and trying to live a separate little life. So that's the reason of self-giving. We are bound to give ourselves up because we don't belong to ourselves. We belong to the divine. And long back, I had written some very small piece for my own self, where I shared that I think it was inspired by a dream, where I shared that it seems like, imagine that there is a thief, and he somehow lands up in a very, of course, as thieves land up, in a very big house full of things and material, elite kind of things, watches and gadgets and everything. And he steals a very complicated watch from that big mansion. Now the thief takes it home, but there are so many things, push buttons and this and that in that watch, that he doesn't know what is the purpose of all those push buttons. Now for that thief, it's like a useless thing. Of course he can sell it and get the money, but then he doesn't know what all can happen through this watch, because he has no knowledge of it. So I felt that we are all thieves. We have stolen ourselves from the divine, and there are so many complicated things in us, in our being, and we have no idea what to do with them. like a treasure that we are sitting upon. And we don't know that it's treasure. That's why we live like beggars, don't we? No? Begging for joy here and there. So the moment the thief goes back in his proper senses and maybe consults that very same person from whom he has stolen the thing, and with humility and all the groundedness, maybe that person can show him what is the purpose of each and every button in that complicated watch. So that's what we have to do. Then it makes sense. The moment we begin to completely and exclusively mind mother's words, it's not my words, exclusively to the divine, that is when we really can live a full life. The life that we are all meant to live. Since mother says we all have a mission to fulfill. We can only fulfill that mission if we give where we belong. Giving ourselves back to the Lord so that Lord knows, okay, you better do this, you better do that because you're good at this at the moment, like that, So the larger picture we can't see, but the divine can see. So it starts, the process can start, one of the ways in which it can start is from within the body. We start to give ourselves up. And for that, one of another prerequisite that we have is massive immobility in the body. So the image that comes to me is of a waterfall. If there is a waterfall, we all know how massive and like intense the waterfalls usually are, right? And you are trying with your plastic glass to catch some of the water. Poor plastic glass will tear apart with the sheer force of that waterfall. So the force that comes through from the divine, which is of course yours, it is ours, it belongs to us when we do the proper sacrifice. For carrying that in ourselves, we need a massive immobility like that of a mountain. Nothing moves in your being. And what makes us move is our restlessness usually, is our desires, is our wanting to be here, not there, like that, cravings. So when we understand through our wisdom that this is not good for me, and all I want to do is to give myself to the divine, when you are clear in your thought, then I can guarantee also that you can have a massive immobility, which Aurobindo talks of, which is required. So that the whatever flow is coming inside of you from above, you can carry it with poise. A deep immobility. Nothing in you should move. No excitement, no restlessness, no, as much as possible. Of course, at times it may happen that so much flow is there that you may have the thrill of it. That is of course possible, but enjoy that thrill and then give it away again. That thrill also has to be given up again and again so that more, which we deserve can continue coming. The flow can continue. So we take a pause here. I've talked enough. We take a pause here, and I ask if there are any concerns, any questions, any confusions so far. So please share. You can unmute and share.
When you said massive immobility, you meant peace in the vital. Uh, is that right?
Yes, that's part of it, the massive immobility, because if you don't have peace in the vital, if you are still desiring, craving, then you will feel a restlessness in the body, right? So peace in the vital is a part of that massive immobility, plus quietude in the mind. So all parts of your being, quietude in the mind, peace in the vital, peace in your heart. Again, that's vital. Peace in your heart. relative immobility in the heart, and your body, because body has to play a very major role. You would have seen that whenever you are a little unwell, maybe with a headache or some pain somewhere, it's very hard to concentrate. So it's very important for us that our health is good, so that immobility can be there. Otherwise, even with a mild headache, you will see that your balance goes haywire, right? So peace in the body, peace in as much as you can go deeper in the body. When you go deep and deep, you close your eyes, you go deep in the body, you can continue going in, maybe touching your sense of cells in the body, atoms in the body, just touching that sense. So you should see, like, you're scanning your whole being and you're checking, okay, where is it there is restlessness? Is it all peaceful? Like, you're scanning. So we can all keep on scanning like that. The moment there is a restlessness, desire somewhere, some old story coming up, you will sense it immediately. So that continuous scanning for the peace in the whole being has to be there, like as a part of process. So yes, peace in the vital is part of that massive immobility. Yeah.
I
Hi,
just
Monica.
had another.
Yeah. Continue, please.
I think Monica was talking.
You can
So
continue.
No, you can go ahead. I thought you're done with the question. Sorry about that.
okay. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Just a little thought that might be a little different, but my mom was suffering a lot in her body, but I thought she completely gave herself to the divine, with immense pain, immense disability, the kind of faith and I want to say surrender, but because I am not her, I won't use the word, but the kind of surrender that she had for her Lord. So, uh, the healthy body, I understand where you are coming from, but I also feel that body is a vessel and we'll try to keep it as clear as we can, but at the end of the day, the divine will also do his role.
Yeah, so what the thing about your mother, and I'm sure that has happened in many, many cases. So that's a result of preparation, what she had been doing earlier. It cannot happen without any preparation. And if you can't see any preparation in this life, then it would be preparation from previous lives. So the preparation for that surrender, which the word that you didn't want to use, the preparation has to be there. And it will be there. It will be there. Even if not visible in this very life, it will be coming from her previous surrender and faith in the Lord. And you are very, very right when you say that when we are in a very dilapidated shape, even then that happens. That happens, yes. But right now, I am talking to people who are relatively healthy. So that was contextual, that let's try to keep ourselves as healthy as possible. And the divine is in, the divine doesn't want to give us a disease. Be sure about that. Whatever disease is there, we create it for ourselves. And if not in this life, maybe it's coming as a residue from the previous life, which we have to go through. And we can go through in the best possible attitude, giving up ourselves. And in fact, what you just shared, mother also shares something on that, that at times when you are very tired and you don't have much energy to actively give yourselves up, one of the process in which to give yourselves up is like to just, like you do sunbathing. Yeah, in sunbathing, you don't do anything actively. So she shares that kind of a process where you're just lying like a sponge, which we can do very well in what you were sharing, your mother's state. So when you can't give yourself actively because of the suffering or pain in the body, then you just trust in the divine grace and leave yourself like a sponge. Open yourself. So yeah, beautiful. Glad about your mother. Yes. Yes, Monica, you can go on, please.
Hi, Monica. Thanks for the session. So, as you said, actively, if we cannot do actively, but my urge has always been active, 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 and I don't know how to do it passively. And when I'm in the midst of people, when I'm in the midst of situations and my desires, I notice them, but at the same time, I run after them. There's a subtle catch. If I catch it through Mother's grace, absolutely beautiful day. But there are moments that I don't catch, even if I'm aware of it, that I'm running after it. I cannot give myself to Mother. I cannot at that point. And the regret, and after going home, I reflect, and the regret and the guilt piles up. Again, Mother says guilt is of no use. Just be aware and again offer it. But the chain keeps happening every day, almost every day for me. And also that, as you said, if you cannot give actively, just being like a sunbath. But I'm so used to doing in active, active, active mode. Passively, I don't know how to do that. And any light on that? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Very good question. So, yeah, people who have a strong vital, people who have many desires, they are like Hanuman, I feel. Hanuman is a strong vitality, is very, like ready to serve the Lord all the time. But the difference between me and Hanuman, or us and Hanuman, is he has a very strong peace in the vital as well, which Suhani was talking of. So this is what, see, the thing is that the more naughty we are, our naughtiness reflects our energy. We have a lot of energy. People who run after their desires and hurt their nose badly again and again, don't worry. There is a lot of hope that we have. Why? Because these are the people with the same intensity, they are going to cling to the divine. It's just a matter of changing that direction, which will happen either automatically or through the circumstances of life, or with your conscious collaboration. So first of all, I would say that we need not worry, because this is the same intensity with which we have to cling to the divine. So it's a very positive hope that we have. Now, secondly, the problem with the more intensity, more vital, is that it cannot stabilize itself. It's like that all the time, right? That's why I started with, are we convinced, that actually we should talk more on it. I'll bring the topic even more right now after your question. How that running around after the desires can be stopped slowly. How that machine, the momentum that has been running, can be stopped. That will be stopped only slowly, in parallel, by noticing it and giving yourself up consciously. And even if you have missed the chance, say the desire came and you didn't notice and you ran after it, now you are regretting it. No problem. In that regret also, give the regret up to the divine, give the running up to the divine, give your mistakes and errors, whatever you have done, up to the divine. No matter at what point you recognize that, oh, I have come a little bit too far because I could not slow down. No matter where you recognize that, at that moment, immediately burn it up. Burn your guilt up and scan your being. You will scan your being and you will see any movement that is there. Either it's joy, excitement, sorrow, sadness, craving, regret, guilt. None of that is belonging to you anymore now that you have taken this step ahead. Everything is to be given up. Like your bag has to be always empty. The flute has to be always empty. Otherwise, Krishna's breath won't play through. So that's my responsibility, to keep the flute always empty. Empty of everything. Pride, vanity, good things, bad things. It has to be empty so that the continuous breathing of the Krishna can go through. right? So at any moment you recognize, first you can, at that very moment, the moment you become conscious of it, you give it up. No point of just going back again like a hamster in regret zone, right? You remember the story of Vibhishan when he wanted to give up his non-vegetarianism. He was coming from uh, Asura or Rakshasa breed, and he can't help but eat the chicken and everything that he eats, like kills animals and eats them. Now he's in Rama's gang, and he doesn't feel right. Like he's here, there is totally sattvic community eating kandmul, all the fruits and everything, and he's still gorging on, all the non-veg that he can eat. So the moment he realizes that what am I doing, at the moment he may have the realization, but he's not able to stop it. He's eating he's eating non-veg, killing animals, but he's at the same time also recognizing that this should not be done. At one point I'll have to give it up, and giving that process of eating and his guilt and everything to the divine. Ki Ramji aap hi dekho, Ram, you see, I don't know what to do with it, but I can't help it. Help me, like that. So same process is with us. Whatever you are repeating in your life, which you don't have to repeat anymore. You don't want this in your life anymore. This is bad for you, negative for you, gives you darkness, whatever. And still you can't stop doing that. Offer it immediately in the process while you are doing it, whether it's eating or doing any activity that you don't want to do, watching too much Netflix or YouTube, whatever. Don't hide away anything from the divine. Everything, take every aspect of the divine, of your life, from bathroom to bedroom to dining room to, outside. Take every aspect, scan every aspect of your life. And each and every aspect, the thing that you are doing, you remember mother. This is, this is how it is. I can't help it. This is how it is. And again, one story, slowly, like I should complete that story. Slowly, what happened? So the monkeys were complaining to Lord Ram that Vibhishan is, still eating non-veg. He should not be eating, as he is now in Sattvic community for whatever. So Ram said, okay, I will see to it. And slowly, his taste changed. He did not feel the urge to eat non-veg anymore. See? So things change. The only thing that he was doing is he was still continuing the old habit, which he could not leave. But at the same time, he never left Ram. Ram, dekh lo, please look, this is what is happening in my life. I can't help it, like that, So continue in our life, we have to continue like that. Maybe you become aware of your ego or anger or, something you keep repeating to your family and relatives, but you don't want to. Immediately remember the mother or the divine, in whatever form you remember the divine, or the universe. You can remember, see, mother doesn't care whether you remember her as mother or Shakti or take any name. Everything is she. So she doesn't bother whether in what form you remember her. So in you, if you say universal energy, please see, I don't know what to do. Enough for the mother. But a conscious, active collaboration is required. Now, the other story is of Duryodhan in Mahabharata. So Duryodhan, when he wants to go for the war, he wants to take a lot of energy. And the mother, Gandhari, she says that, okay, she has the energy of tapasya. She has been, in a blindfold, and a lot of energy is concentrated within her form, her being. So she says, you come naked. Remember, come naked. And then I will open my blindfold, and all the intensity of tapasya that I have, I'll put into you in that instant. But one thing you should remember, come naked. We all know the story. Most of us may know the story. So what happens? He's going from the tent, the camps, and on the way, naughty Krishna. He meets the naughty Krishna. And Krishna, of course, doesn't want Kauravas to win because it will be a win for Adharma. So what he says is that, oh, this is how you will go naked, such a big boy, naked in front of your mother. Don't go like that. Cover at least the groin part you cover. So he covers. He becomes a little ashamed of himself going naked, which he wasn't earlier. He was going to his mother. But anyway, so he covers that part. And when Gandhari is there and she asks, are you naked? Yeah, I'm naked, more or less. He didn't mention that I'm covered on the groin part. The moment she opens the blindfold, immediately a rush of intense tapasic energy comes into Duryodhana and everything becomes like solid, like a mountain. Only the part that he was covering remains weak, and that is where he found his death. Isn't that amazing? So whatever we hide from the divine, that remains weak. We think we are protecting it, but it's actually we are weakening it. We are not protecting it. We are protecting it in a sad sense, right? So with all your vital energy, again, answering your question, with all your vital energy, cling to the divine. It's like we have a Velcro, and that Velcro will, Jetsunma Tenzing Palmo, she uses this word Velcro, like as if our mind is like a Velcro. It goes on and just sticks to anything because it has a Velcro. The only thing it has to do now is to stick to the divine. So with your activity that you want to do, as you said that I want to do active process. With your activity, the moment you become conscious in your awareness, oh, I'm trying to stick again to something worldly, some person, some situation, some pleasure. If you can direct it to the mother, you direct that clinginess to the mother. Cling to the mother. Again, emotions, because how would we have the peace in the vital, which Suhani was talking of? Peace in the vital cannot come because we are all emotional beings. We feel so weak when we talk of our relatives and relations and, oh, I love this person, oh, I love that person. We feel weak in our knees, right? So all those emotions have to be turned to the divine, nothing else, because we want to strengthen them, remember. Right? If I hide this away from the mother, then it will remain weak. I can't make use of it. So don't be your own enemy. So all the emotions, for example, I may get reminded of my story and my beloved and my people who did not return my love back or whatever. We have all kind of dramas in our life, including myself, right? The moment you become conscious of that drama, okay, oh, the drama is starting again, immediately just concentrate your thoughts on the mother, on the universal energy, on emptiness. Because you are not going to get anything from those people in your life. Those people are as beggar as you. They are also trying to fulfill themselves. There is no difference. The only difference is that you are trying to fulfill yourself through them and they are trying to fulfill themselves through something else. That's the only difference. If you remember, again, one Upanishadic story where Brithari, these are so beautiful stories. I didn't prepare all that, but they're coming to me, so I'm sharing. Brithari was a kind of a king, and he has a wife, and he gets a mango from somewhere, and that somewhere is some extramarital affair maybe he has. And then the mango he has to give the mango to someone who he really loves. So he goes home and he gives the mango to his wife. Now the wife is in a relationship with someone else. So For the wife, that person is important. So the wife gives that mango. There is a very good episode from Upanishad Ganga on this Brithari story.
Is the mango was immortal or
No,
beauty?
the mango, I have to remind myself where the mango came from, but the
I
mango,
remember as well.
yeah. So mango was something very special, and you could give it to someone who you really love, who you want the best for, something, maybe immortality. It could be, right? So then the wife gives to that person who she loves. And that person who she loves also is in relationship with something else. So it kind of goes on and on and on. And ultimately, the mango comes back to Brithari. Now he's very confused, like what is happening? How does the mango is coming back to me? And then he realizes that each and every person is like a beggar begging for his joy or having an extramarital or whatever affair somewhere else, right? And then he becomes so disappointed with life. And then he writes Vairagya, I think Vairagya Shatkam or something, something he writes like flows from his being, disenchantment from life. Right? So just like that, everyone is begging. So the person you are trying to stick to, the situation you are trying to stick to, poor that situation, poor that person, they cannot fulfill you. That's not the design of the creation. So watch yourself, because these are the things which stop us, which distract us when we are trying to concentrate, right? So the moment they will come, and they will come, they will show up, you will say to yourself, I have nothing to do with it. And you will, as I said, with effervescence of a camphor or like beer bubbles going up, like that, you will kind of burn it up with your willpower. You will burn it up consciously and offer it up to the divine. And you will feel the movement tangibly in the body. In Buddhism, they talk of 8 worldly concerns. And again, I have repeated these 8 worldly concerns, which are very helpful, because we will see that wherever our thoughts are getting distracted or getting restless, these are the concerns in which you are going round and round. So these concerns are, first 2 are pleasure and pain. Running towards pleasure, running away from pain. So this is what I want, this is what I want. Why? Because this gives me pleasure. At least it has given me in past. So I'm after it now. This mostly happens in romantic relationships, or maybe in terms of addictions, where once you get pleasure and then you're after that person to have the pleasure again and again, right? And running away from pain. So wherever you get pain, you want to run away from it. You don't want to go through it. You don't want to endure it. So that they are the first 2. Second 2 would be, just I have written it down for my own so that I don't forget. Gain and loss. Okay, everybody wants gain. Nobody wants loss. We have to rise above these dualities. When gain is coming, okay, fine. When loss is coming, endure. Equality. Then so these are 4: pleasure, pain, gain, loss. The third set is respect, running after respect and fame. People should know me. They should respect me. They should give me credit for what I have done so far. And you don't want insult and defame me. So running away from insult, not wanting insult, and that is why we suffer. Because if a person insults me, then I suffer in my heart. So insult comes, take it. Let it, again, we don't have to keep anything to us. So insult comes, offer it to mother. Respect comes, offer it to mother. Anyway, whatever energy I have in my body is belonging to the mother. Otherwise, there is nothing that I can do without that energy. So everything, whatever comes through that energy belongs to the mother. Respect, mother. Insult, okay, mother, this is also yours. So keep giving these gifts to the mother, whatever comes to you, gain, loss, right? Nothing to keep for ourselves. And the last set is acceptance and rejection. So we all want to be accepted. We don't want to be rejected. When somebody rejects us, what happens? We all know. We take it to our heart, we suffer. We don't have to continue to do that. So when acceptance coming to you, when somebody is accepting you, don't get deflated, inflated like a balloon. Offer it immediately to the mother. When rejection comes, people are blaming you, rejection comes, offer it to the mother. So these 8 worldly concerns are what, if we reflect on that, if we contemplate on these, then we will see that the more we rise above these dualities, we will stop suffering in our lives. We will actually give a break to ourselves, because these are the things because of which we suffer. And the more we rise above these dualities, the more concentrated our effort is, either to go deep in our heart and find the psychic being, or to keep constantly offering all these movements that we are talking of to the mother, to the divine above our head. So they have to given up. They have to be given up, constantly given up, like an incense or a camphor or effervescence, something going up. So reflect, when you have time, reflect on these 8 worldly concerns, and see whenever you are stuck. For example, you are not conscious and you feel just stagnant somewhere. Oh, I'm stuck in a loop. Just notice that, are you stuck with one of these concerns? Because mostly it's one of these concerns in which we are stuck. And then tell yourself that, oh my God, again the same story. So, and step back, because the world cannot fulfill you. Nothing in the world can fulfill you, because we are all begging. Beggars can't fulfill beggars. The only thing we can get fulfillment from is when we give where we belong. That gives us fulfillment. And we are all seeking fulfillment, but maybe at the wrong places. Okay, so we pause again here and take any reflection, any question, any thought.
Thanks, Monica. That was the examples are really, I was able to connect. One thing I'm noticing, reflecting right now, is when I wanted to gossip a lot. I offered it to mother, and it worked miraculously that people stopped much of it talking to me. Just basic questions, and eventually the gossip went, and that kind of helped me. And even with the non-veg, like now I'm thinking like there are so many things I have to be aware of. Like even I'm a very get that pleasure of eating meat, but again I offer that pleasure to mother, and slowly I see I eating less, probably just 2 eggs or maybe once a week. So that was really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. And see, don't take it like, in the sense that, for example, here in Pondicherry, in the ashram school, mother did not discourage especially children to eat meat or eggs, because she knew that for the body it's necessary. So we have to really see where we are coming from. If we are eating for pleasure, that's where we are stepping back from our true soul, true consciousness. If I am eating for getting pleasure, but if you are eating for good health, maybe you don't like eggs, but at times you have to eat because you need protein, for example, eat. And as you said correctly, keep offering it to the mother while you are eating, because slowly what happens, I have observed, is the more you are connected to your true consciousness, and the more you are connected to this self giving up to the divine, in which you receive a lot, you actually feel that you're full of energy, and you don't eat anymore that much that you used to eat. And this is practical. I've lived that experience, and I can guarantee that this can happen. And I actually, mother says that food is not not something which we can't get rid of. And I wondered on this because mother says that there will come a time when we will forget to eat. Like you are so abundantly receiving from the divine that you forget to eat. You're not hungry anymore. And it's a possibility. And it has to come. This time has to come. So this is very interesting. So, you see, when you are eating for pleasure, because mother says that when we are doing something for pleasure, then what's happening? See, I want to explore this because this is very important. See, what happens when we watch Netflix or YouTube or all these movies? A little kind of maza, you say in Hindi, like it's giving you a subtle kind of pleasure, right? All of us know, like maza aa raha hai. What if the source of this pleasure changes for you? Now it's not YouTube anymore. It's not Netflix anymore. When you are in your true consciousness, in your body, you're giving yourself up to the divine. Oh my God, it's so pleasurable, delightful. And then you don't feel the need to go back to YouTube or Netflix for that same pleasure. Even the other things that you do for pleasure. So when these things are coming, if they come by effect of it, take it like neutrally. If they have come your way, take it. If they are going away from you, let them go, because the source of pleasure and delight is within you and you have access to it throughout 24/7. So what we have to change is we have to change our bad taste. Like kisi ko, people who love oily food, samosas and kachoris and all of that, oily, oily, oily. Akhilji is smiling. Jalebi and samosa and all of that. So when jalebi and samosa come, okay, have it, doesn't matter. But no craving for it is there anymore. Like the taste has changed because you have found an abundant source of samosa and jalebi and all the thing within yourself. So this is what has to change. The equation has to change. Now, if someone asks me today, people who are so lost on YouTube, Netflix, and whatever they are watching or whatever they are doing, imagine, and they're all of us. Yeah, I'm talking of all of us. So imagine that the pleasure we are having with the intimacy in our phones, the same pleasure and even a higher amount of pleasure we begin to have in our bodies through the divine connection, then we won't be craving for all these things. So the taste has to change. Slowly the taste has to change. And as long as you feel the body needs protein, minerals, vitamins, whatever you feel need is there, eat. And as you correctly said, that keep offering it to the divine in the process of whatever you feel you have to leave. And here I would say that actually I stopped eggs for some time, but I had to start again because I felt that I'm doing a lot of physical things and I must maybe eat some more eggs because it is important for the body. And today if somebody says, okay, leave eggs, I have no problem with leaving eggs. I'm not eating them for delight. I'm eating them for health. And that's it. Delight, I have a source within, like that. So see, wherever you are doing something for the sake of pleasure, mother says, when we do that, we step away from our true consciousness. Because it means somewhere I'm getting more delight than the true consciousness, right? So we disconnect from that. But the rasa from everything you can have, and we should have the delight of our senses, but not that without that I'm like dry. I don't have delight in my life. That should not be there. Yeah, slowly the taste has to change. It will change. Yeah. Suhani, you wanted to share something?
I wanted to ask if gratitude is one of the forms of offering, or what is the relationship between offering and gratitude, if I can put it that way.
What, according to you, so far in your experience, would you like to share? Like the question that you asked me, would you like to answer it yourself through your experience, gratitude and offering?
I'll just take today's example. I was waiting for some results of something that I did, and I was very, very scared that I couldn't finish whatever I was supposed to finish. And I kept leaving it up to mother. I told her it's up to you. I did whatever I could. So there was a part of me was offering it to her, but a part of me was also scared and nervous about it and was also feeling insecure. Uh, I tried to divert myself and I just said, it will happen, mother will take care, whatever it is. But so part of me was trying to, like, to me, it always happens in parts. It is not full offering and I'm over it. But when the result came out, there was just immense gratitude towards mother, that you did it and it happened. And uh, yeah. So there was just immense gratitude towards her for whatever happened. And I felt that the delay in getting the result was also a good thing because I got to see how attached I was to the result. But I still can't understand offering and gratitude. How do I put it together mentally, purely in a mental manner?
So yeah, beautiful. Let's leave it there, I would say. Leave the question there hanging, and maybe we address it after 2 days when our workshop ends. So we'll relook at this and maybe take your own experience. Maybe something.
We could try giving the gratitude simultaneous to the offering. Preempt the result and just give the gratitude simultaneous to the offering. That's just a thought.
That would be a very smart thing to do. I wish I can. I will try it.
Because ultimately we have to live in a sense of continual gratitude. So, continuous gratitude, and so we can have gratitude simultaneous to all our actions and all our movements and everything. A constant state of gratitude. That's what we should work towards at least.
When you put it like that, it made so much sense. And I realized that gratitude comes much more easily when we have, according to us, when we have accomplished something or when something goes our way,
that's it. Absolutely.
then gratitude comes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Vinij.
No, just one thing that to me I feel that offering is still an effort, but gratitude it like comes on its own. It just flows. I mean there can be reasons, may not be reasons, but I mean it is effortless. So to me it is, yeah. But in offering, yes, you do collaborate or you do voluntarily you are doing something, but gratitude is like,
Yeah, perhaps that makes sense, that gratitude is effortless. There is not a thought in it, but offering and surrender. Sure, there is active and passive too, but still, gratitude, I feel real gratitude just comes.
Beautiful. Anything else? Anyone?
Monica, you said something like to realize the psychic being or something like that, it takes only 3 hours of concentration. Can you talk a little bit about that? I know it's not exactly the focus of our discussion, probably, but I'm just curious.
Yeah, beautiful. Yes. Yeah, we need to talk about that. And it is very much part of our discussion because it's very important to get in touch with the psychic, and not only in touch, like intermittent. Of course, it in the beginning it may happen intermittently, but we ultimately have to uh, really be in constant touch with the psychic, and so much so that it becomes the leader of our life, and not in theory, because it can be in theory for us. Just talking about psychic being can give us delight, but that's not what we want. So to get the psychic in front, now this is what the whatever discussion we had so far was like a preparative ground for our concentration and self giving. And now the time that we have left today, let's do these practices for maybe 10 minutes and experience the taste of it. And I request each one of us not to sleep, because this is very precious. The practice is very precious to us, and tamas is just next to us. When we close our eyes, we will not be completely closing our eyes. Huh? So you can in between close and then a little bit open and look towards the floor, maybe not to the eyes of people, but towards the floor. But don't sleep, because we don't have much time in our life. And if we sleep, then we just are giving in to the tamas and laziness. Huh? So let's thank you, Swati, for the prompt, and let's do this practice. So first we do one practice for 10 minutes and the other one after that for 10 more minutes. So take any relaxed posture. You don't have to be cross-legged. Any relaxed posture in which you are very comfortable. Your spine need not be straight. It should be relaxed and comfortable to you. In the beginning, we'll just start with closing our eyes, feeling our body. And if there are any thoughts, right now we are not going to pay them much attention. They may be there, like a spider in the room. It's there, but it's not bothering you. Just let it be. Don't start thinking your thoughts at the moment. Come back to the breath. And just scan the whole body from within. When you close your eyes, it's all dark. You have a black space within your body, and just scan it. If anywhere you are uncomfortable, correct that posture. Stay with your breath. Anchor yourself in the breath. And with a conviction and with a will, a conscious will, that I want to be in touch with my true being, the psychic being. Start going deeper towards your center of the chest, like horizontally. Like if somebody puts an arrow in your chest, it will go horizontally within the chest. So like that, start traveling within. Going deeper. deeper. If you get distracted, anchor yourself on breath. Thoughts at the moment of anything are irrelevant. We are not going to pay them attention. Our task is like an arrow. Keep going straight within the heart center of our chest. Deeper and deeper. Observe the immobility in your being along with. Make use of that immobility and keep going deeper and deeper. Deeper, deeper in your heart. And see and feel the warmth, the intimacy of your being when you're going deeper, as if you're coming back home. Don't stop your journey, go deeper. Keep traveling within and feel the warmth, the intimacy, the closeness of your inner being. I'll read a few lines from Savitri, and you'll all just keep going in and just listen to these words. The finding of the soul. Onward she passed, seeking the soul's mystic cave. At first, she stepped into a night of God. The light was quenched that helps the laboring world. This inefficient mind gave up its thoughts. The striving heart, its unavailing hopes. All knowledge failed. and the ideas, forms, and wisdom screened in awe her lowly head, feeling a truth too great for thought or speech. The unseen light she could not claim nor own. In a simple purity of emptiness, her mind knelt down before the unknowable. All was abolished, save her naked self and the prostrate yearning of her surrendered heart. There was no strength in her, no pride of force. The lofty burning of desire had sunk, ashamed, a vanity of separate self. The hope of spiritual greatness fled. Salvation she asked not, nor a heavenly crown. Herself was nothing. God alone was all. Yet God she knew not, but only knew He was. A sacred darkness brooded now within. The world was a deep darkness, great and nude. A last change approached. The emptiness broke. A wave rippled within. The world had stirred. There was felt a blissful nearness to the goal. It lay withdrawn even from life's inner sense, receding from the entangled heart's desire. A holy stillness held that voiceless space. An awful dimness wrapped the great rock doors. There was no step of breathing men, no sound, only the living nearness of the soul. Our sight and sense are a fallible gaze and touch, and only the Spirit's vision is wholly true. She knew herself the beloved of the Supreme. A house was there, all made of flame and light, and crossing a walk of doorless living fire. There, suddenly, she met her secret soul. Remain in touch with the warmth, with the emptiness, with the sweetness, or anything that you have touched, and try to bring a fragrance of it out as you slowly half open your eyes. Half open and try to bring it from within the depths of your being to your outer being, the body, the feelings, the thoughts, as if they are all getting the touch of that, what you have touched within your being. Like a spoonful or more, you carry from the depths of your being to the outer waking life. And if you have not yet opened your eyes, open, half open, and bring that touch to the outer being, to the waking state. Now close your eyes again. And if the body is a little restless, you can give it a break. Stretch yourself. One may not be used to sitting for long. Give it a break. Feel free to break yourself. Relax the body. And for a moment, just close your eyes again. Now start from the foot below your soles. Bring your consciousness there. And as if you are sublimating the particles of your being there up, like how camphor gives itself up. So feel the movement of giving yourself up, starting from the sole of your foot. And in between, if you become conscious of any thought or feeling or tiredness or stiffness, offer it up. Whatever you become conscious of, you offer it up. Don't keep it to yourself. If you want to half open your eyes and do the process, that's also okay. Keep moving from feet, soles, and up, slowly, slowly, offering each part of your body and being, offering it up to the divine, the incense or the fumes of it going as far as above your head, like it's flaming up your head. Keep traveling your calves, your knees, any pain there, any stiffness, any goodness that you are feeling in the body. Like camphor giving itself up, it's being offered up to the divine. And the flames go as high up, the fumes or the flames are going as high up as above your head. And it may happen that without traveling from bottom to top, the whole being begins to give itself up. Let it happen. And you may open your eyes if you're feeling sleepy. with your consciousness and will. Offer each element of your being up and up. It may be scattered giving up, it may be a sequential giving up, but the whole body should feel the taste of giving up. The movement in the being, in the body. There may be vibrations or any sensations. And the moment you notice, keep offering them also up. Don't hold back anything. And all that offering is going up above your head. Any pain anywhere, any stiffness, any thought of unfitness, any feeling like or dislike, all is given up. You become conscious, burn it up with your will. Don't keep it to yourself. Now half open your eyes. Continue the process. Half open, and although your eyes may be open, but your concentration is in the body, in the giving up. You're not distracted by anything. And slowly you can open your eyes more fully. Maybe look at the screen, not necessarily at the eyes of other people. And see if you can continue the process of giving up. So we'll have to stop short. This was just a taste of maybe a longer practice that I wanted to share. So both the practices are something which we will, if we are wanting to do, and if it resonates, continue at home, continue in your empty slots. Don't waste time, I would say. Don't waste time. We don't have much time. Life is short. It's too short in comparison to the eternity that we have to live. The human life is really too short. And whatever comes when you are doing this offering in the being, whatever comes, tomorrow we are going to talk about it. There is something called cloud of forgetting. The moment a thought comes, a feeling comes related to this worldly life, you immediately put it in that cloud of forgetting. Like you drop it and it's gone. Now you're not thinking about it anymore. Huh? So you become conscious of it in your being. It is there, but you don't want to think about it because you know it's not going to give anything. You drop it in the cloud of forgetting and it's gone. You forget about it. It's blank. You're blank again. So when we are concentrating, and concentration is one of the things which mother has really stressed upon. Without concentration, you can't get anything in your life. Even a scientist, an artist, we all have to concentrate if we want to be good at our work, right? So if this is our path, if this resonates with us, then we have to do it with concentration, because as I said, we don't have much time to waste, because we don't know when is the time to leave our body. We don't know. Nobody knows. We are all young. We may be relatively young or not so young. How does it matter? And who knows when our life, this life that we have, the human life given for a particular work, when it ends, who knows? And if we go with the halfway mission, continue the same process, taking again rebirth and rebirth, doing the same process which I could have done in the previous life, but I wasn't concentrated enough. So we have to, if this resonates with us, if we are serious about it, give it time. And we all have enough time. I know that we all have enough time. I just know it. We waste a lot of time. Don't waste your time. Okay. And if you are wasting, try to waste less time. Start with wasting less than wasting more. Okay. And whenever mind is getting scattered, we have now practiced 2 things today. And if they resonate, or if you have your own practices, continue with them, but try to keep the mind concentrated. And the more we concentrate, the more abundantly we receive. Abundantly. Because gifts are waiting for us, but we don't have time. We are too busy with other things in our life. Huh? So let's give it a try. Let's do a little bit of what we can do, what we are supposed to do. So both the practices, the first one that we did was getting in touch with our warmth and sweetness. And mother says that, how do you know that you are in touch with the psychic? So when we touch something sweet within, something warm and sweet, that's when you know, and don't be unsure about it. You know that you have touched your psychic. Bring that sweetness out in your outer being, in your thoughts, in your feelings, in your day-to-day waking life. And try these practices both with half open eyes while you're walking. The self-giving can continue in the body even when you are walking. And I'm talking to you through practice. When I'm walking, I know that this can go on. So don't get distracted with the scattered thoughts, because the more we do this, the more unified our being will become. So that, as we were starting in the beginning with Pavitrada, so that the moment the body dissolves, it knows exactly where it wants to go. Because now we are doing that practice. Now we know where exactly we want to go. And the world cannot give us anything. So just last 2 minutes I want to take, if there is any concern or any question or about the practice or anything that we did, and then we stop for today. Any difficulty in the practice anyone experienced? Okay. So it feels that it resonates with each one of us. And if it doesn't resonate, that's also okay. Maybe we have something more coming up in life which needs our attention. That's fine. We all have to go through our experiences. And if it resonates, let's give it time. So tomorrow, I like to give some homework. So tomorrow, when we come, I would not like much that you share good things of your practice. Don't share with us good things. People spoil good things. So all the good things you're going to keep silently in your being. Keep offering the good things to the mother. But if there are any difficulties that you experience, any concern that you have about the practice, or any confusion in the mind about whatever we discussed today, that you bring. And avoid talking about your experience. And it's not that I won't want to listen. Of course, we all want to share experience and we want to listen, but they dilute. And stay with the experience fully, and don't let it fade away like immediately by sharing it about the experience, no matter how good it is. Because as somebody was I think James was sharing, or Meenakshi shared, we have to move from realization to realization, light to a greater light. And the more we constantly keep giving whatever we receive, even if it's all the good things, that flow is continuous, then we can keep moving. So whatever you receive abundantly in gratitude, you keep offering it back to the mother. Mother, good experience doesn't belong to me. You take, So keep yourself empty like a flute. Keep cleaning like a flute. How we clean our homes daily, if not daily, weekly, whatever, So keep cleaning constantly, so that our being remains empty and the flow is, like a dhara, like a pravaha, like a full flow. We all deserve that. So whatever you practice, or if there is any problem, we'll talk about that tomorrow. And I have some things to give for reading. I'll try, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I want to share the PDF right away. Let's see. Maybe tomorrow I'll share, because today let's just stay with the discussion and the practice. I think that's enough. Okay, I wish everyone good night, good day, and thank you, James, to everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Monica.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, until tomorrow.
Yes.
Namaste. Mother's blessings. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.